Hello, friends. Today we will be discussing few quiz questions. Uh, Now you can see the total questions were 25, out of which I have been able to correctly do 23 questions. But don't worry, we would be discussing all the correct answers of this question because we have found out the answers. Well, the questions are not only involved with respect to quiz point of view, but also from the understanding of physics point of view. Now, these questions were prepared and organized by the Department of Physics by the KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, which is located in Coimbatore, in southern India. Our first question is, which of the following scientists was a fossil expert? And the correct answer is Anning. Yes, Anning is the correct answer. Second question is, which scientist discovered the four biggest moons of Jupiter? And that is Galileo. It is the correct answer because Galileo was one of those astronomers and astrophysicists who were the pioneers in the field of finding out satellites and extra planets. Solar system planets. And back then, it was not considered very authentic by the church, so they had to do these things in hiding or not openly. Next question is, gravity was discovered by, and the answer is Newton. Well, we all know the story of how Sir Isaac Newton was sitting under an apple tree and it falls on his head, and then he discovers gravity. So, this is the question, and this is the answer. Uh, Question number 4 is, light emerges from ruby laser is, it's of course, ruby is a red gem, so the correct answer is red. Now we move on to the next question. uh, Next question is question number 5, cryogenic engines are used in, and this answer is rockets. Like, cryogenic engines are used from the point of view of thermodynamics that we referred in physics. Question number 6, when two ice cubes are pressed over each other, they unite to form one cube because of, and the correct answer is hydrogen bond formation. This is true. You should try out at home by opening your deep freezer and taking out ice cubes and trying to join them. You would find the definite results mentioned here. It's not just a question but also a part of practical application of physics. Now we move on to the next question. What is the contribution of scientists Strassmann and Otto Hahn in physics? Coming back to the question number 7, what is the contribution of scientists Strassmann and Otto Hahn in physics? Well, these scientists were involved in making nuclear fission, and it was made in United States of America. Uh, Question number 8, the fundamental scientific principle in the operation of battery is its dissociation of electrolytes. Well, we know when electrolysis occurs in a medium, there are movement of charges. The positive charges move to the anode and the negative charges move to the cathode. No, I'm sorry. The cations go to the cathode and anions go to the anode. What is the hardest material or hardest substance on Earth? The correct answer is diamond. Yes, that's true. But uh, there is another artificial substance which I cannot recall, that might be boron tetracarbonate BC4, which is presumably the hardest substance and somewhat more than diamond. Question number 10 is, X-rays travel in. Well, we all know X-rays are electromagnetic waves, and the property of electromagnetic waves is primarily to travel in straight lines. Now the next question is question number 11. The material that will not carry an electrical charge is called as insulator, of course, because superconductors do conduct charge. Semiconductors also transiently conduct electrical charges, and the conductors, of course, they conduct electrical charges. So the correct answer is insulators. Question number 12. The Celsius and Fahrenheit scale are equal at, well, there is a numerical, and if we solve the numerical, we come to the conclusion, and the common common level of agreement of both the scales is minus 40 degree. Well, there is a relation where we make like C minus the lowest division of Celsius scale by total number of divisions of Celsius scale, which is 100. So C minus 0 by 100 is equivalent to F minus lowest division of Fahrenheit scale, which is 32, by total number of divisions in Fahrenheit scale, which is 180. So the total equation comes to C minus 0 by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 180. And if we put X on both the sides, like in place of C and F, and we solve the equation, then the answer comes to be minus 40. It's quite interesting numerical back in the school days. Now moving on to the next question. 13. The main gas that makes up the Earth's atmosphere. Well, we all know it. The highest amount of atmospheric gas is nitrogen, which is about 79 or 74%, and the next one is hydrogen, and then remaining are inert gases and carbon dioxide, which is about 0.3%. But I'm quite sure that with the global warming and air pollution, the percentage might have changed to some extent. uh, Next question is question number 14. The electrolyte in a car battery is, well, I suppose that it was supposed to be sulfuric acid, but the system online says it's nitric acid. Well, practically diluted nitric acid or diluted sulfuric acid are used in battery, so I guess I'll go by the system answer, nitric acid, but diluted, not the concentrated one, because the concentrated ones does not allow the free flow of ions and radicals easily. Moving on to the next question. The biggest planet of our solar system is Jupiter. Yes, of course, Jupiter. We see, although, that there are Saturn rings, but that are just clouds of dust and particles, that is not solid. So we consider Jupiter to be the largest planet. But if we go to consider the rings around Saturn, then it would make the solar system's largest planet. But it's not so. Next question is question number 16. What is the second? Our next question is question number 16. What is the second derivative of displacement? Now we know, according to differential calculus, that when distance is differentiated in the first order derivative, we get velocity, and if it's further differentiated, we get acceleration. So ds dt is equal to v, where v is velocity and s is distance and t is time. If we differentiate both sides with respect to t, we further get ds2 dt2 is equal to v dv dt dv dt, which is equivalent to a. So the correct answer is instantaneous acceleration. Next question is 1 kilogram is equal to. In terms of pounds, it's like 2.2 pounds, because 1 pound is almost equivalent to 455 grams or 457 grams or something like that. Now, next question is the property of material due to which it attracts or repels other objects. Well, we know that like charges attract one another and unlike charges repel one another. But if we talk about a charged body and an uncharged body, what kind of interaction do we expect between them? Well, it's very easy. When a charged body comes in the close vicinity of an uncharged body, the charged body attracts the uncharged body with the induction of current on the uncharged body. So it's charge. The correct answer is charge. The next question is the unit of electromotive force. Well, electromotive force or electromotive potential is volt, the antimatter equivalent of an electron. Well, these are positrons. When we go to nuclear physics, we deal with many uh, particles like positrons, mesons, pi mesons, and so on. So, equivalent of electron is positron. The next question is the distance between two peaks of a wave. Well, we can say the distance between two peaks of a wave or two troughs of a wave or two crests of a wave, it's all the same thing. It comes back to wavelength. Wavelength is the complete cyclic revolution, or we might say the complete cyclic movement, and it gives the onset of a wave and the completion of a wave. So it's wavelength. Next question is Bernoulli's effect deals with. Well, we have seen Bernoulli's effect in moving fluid. It's applied in the fields of moving fluid or non-Newtonian forces. Next question is which of the following pairs have the same dimensions? Well, the questions or the options in this question are specific heat and latent heat, surface tension and force, torque and inertia. But the correct answer is impulse and momentum, because if you take out their uh, dimensional units, you would find them to be impulse and momentum, because momentum is the rate of change of velocity, or it may be expressed like, and so is impulse, because impulse is the product of force and time, and they all comes to be L square s to the power minus 2. Moving on, the dimensions of kinetic energy is same as that of, well, we know there is a theorem, work energy theorem. So work is equivalent to energy, or work is converted into energy. So the dimensions of work and energy are supposed to be somewhat similar. So the correct answer is work. Next question and the last one is the SI unit of electric potential is, it's of course not ohm, because ohm is electrical unit of resistance, not coulomb. Coulomb is SI unit of charge, and not Newton. Newton is the SI unit of force. So the correct answer was volt.